Oh, 80s. Why you gotta be so 80s? So, this is a completely random one, but I saw it. Might as well talk about it. So, I suppose for context, I think I've mentioned this before, or I might have anyways. Liz and I and a number of our friends have been, on occasion, doing this sort of synchronized movie viewing night where everybody queues up the same movie, and we have a group chat going, usually to make fun of it. And the films have largely leaned towards the cheesier end of things for that purpose, though we also did Us, which chat wasn't as active for that one. Cannot imagine why. That was a good movie to see again, though. If you haven't seen Us, see it. Like, it's really good. It's intense. Anyways, what we ended up doing this past weekend was watching The Beastmaster, which I had not ever seen before, which got some responses of from some people in the chat. I think I throw people off with how many, staples of the 80s I haven't seen or don't know. Like, people need to remember, yes, I was born in the early 80s, but the thing is, most people my age who really had a lot of experience like that, who remember early MTV and who saw things like Beastmaster, and the Brat Pack movies and all these things, most of them had older siblings who sort of filtered this stuff back to them. I was an only child. So, no, I didn't see this weird sword and sorcery movie that came out the same year I was born. Anyways, it's funny. I went and I double-checked the making and the timing of this, because watching it, I'm like, this is a ripoff of Conan the Barbarian. I mean, it's for how much the main character is shirtless, the whole, the village where he lived got destroyed, so there's a revenge element, and he's, picking up companions along the way, except this time they're animals. It's such a ripoff of Conan. And then I checked, they came out the same year, within a few months of each other. And it had been in development, for a while before that. It couldn't have been a ripoff. So I think it's more just one of those instances of, what happened with the 90s when Ants and A Bug's Life or Deep Impact and Armageddon came out close together. Just, okay, more than one studio and director thought that this was going to be the next big thing. And so you ended up with competing, bizarrely similar movies. And bizarre is a good word for this one. It's a strange thing. It's very of its time, in the good and the bad, and by good I mean cheesy. I can see why it became a cult hit, especially given that the style of fantasy that it's offering up, this not trying to be necessarily huge and sweeping and epic, but being a little bit almost more kind of episodic and more about the ground level stuff. Yeah, and yes, it's got a prophecy and a chosen one, but it's just kind of following the guy around. But this feeling of, yes, there's magic, but we're gonna fight with a sword, and almost feeling like they're infiltrating Dungeons and Dragons castles at times. There wasn't a lot. Well, no, I take that back. There was a lot. But there wasn't a lot that was good. It's the same reason stuff like Krull got a cult following. That one I don't get at all. I kind of get this one, though. Especially, if you kind of hook in the animals, which they're kind of cool. There's four main ones, because there's two ferrets. So, yeah, there's two ferrets who basically act as the party rogues. There is the tiger that has been dyed black. And I'm serious, they just dyed a tiger black. I guess from looking it up, the director, it was the same guy who directed the Phantasm movies. He wanted a panther, a black panther or a jaguar or something like that, but the trainers told him that those are much more skittish and a tiger is easier to keep a handle on. So he's like, fine, do a tiger, but I want it black. So they dyed a tiger black, and sometimes you could see the stripe shining through, especially around the mouth, where you could tell it had been licking its chops and the dye had been coming off. But that's acting as the muscle, and the hawk's like the scout. So like I said, it feels a little bit like a D&D team, which for the kind of geek that I am is kind of fun. But for the villain, you've got Rip Torn and one of the worst prosthetic noses I think I've ever seen. it is a beak of a nose, and it's fine until he turns to the side, and then it's just wow, whoa, dude, that is something. And it's got it's got a lot of oiled up male chest. Like a lot of it. I don't think the main character puts a shirt on the entire film, even once. And so, like I said, it's very, I was going to say cheesecake, but I guess for a guy it's beefcake, although there is cheesecake as well. We introduced the female character, and of course, has to start with them bathing. And, well, I say them because it's the female lead and another woman, so we can have double the gratuitous female nudity. 80s. Like, it's not a movie worth breaking down in any great detail, but it just kind of meanders its way along. I'll confess I was only kind of half paying attention to it because I was focusing more on what was going on in the chat as we were all making fun of it. I think that might be all that I have to say. Like, if you enjoy this older stuff, if you like Conan the Barbarian, if you like cheesy muscle man movies, it's a pretty decent one of those. But I mean, that's also a genre that's like, whoa, okay. So that's kind of all I have to say about it. I'm hoping next time we do this, we do Willow. Because, like, that one I actually have nostalgia for. Because that one I grew up watching. And it feels like a better version of what this sort of thing was trying to be. Or, broadly speaking, the genre, anyway. Somebody in the chat also brought up Lady Hawk. Another 80s staple that I have not seen. Yet one more thing that elicited the response from some of the people in the chat. Like, look, there's just a lot of stuff I haven't seen. And most of it, when I've gotten around to seeing it, most of it I've gone, okay. So, I don't know what people expect from me at this point. I'm tangenting. I should wrap up. The Beastmaster. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe. I have a Patreon, which is what pays my bills and keeps this whole operation up and running. Any amount you can give me there helps, but you also don't have to because we take a relaxed attitude around here, so just come on back next time you need a break.